One of the many things you will learn by visiting the Museum of the Western Prairie is about the unique history of Southwest Oklahoma. That period of time was unusual because early on, that area was actually a part of the state of Texas.
And as a result, we have a very different statehood story than other parts of Oklahoma. And we concentrate on that story of settlement. We do, of course, address earlier periods of time, in particular the Wichita Indians, who were in this area from the mid-1700s to the mid-1800s. We do talk, of course, about the cattle drives.
And those cattle drives and settlement are key to what can be discovered here at the museum.
In the new gallery, we have 479 photographs that have not been on display before, 379 artifacts, and 42,000 words. So we have expanded and are able to show now that more than we've ever shown before.
And more can be seen literally through the work of a man known as the photographer of the Kiowas, and the information preserved in those photos is invaluable.
He took those photographs at a very interesting time. It was when the government, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, was pushing Indians to acculturate, to adopt white man's ways. And those were exactly the years when George Long was taking those photographs.
Two of the largest artifacts at the museum are the 1891 ranch house and the one called the dugout.
It's one of the pieces in the museum that truly fascinates our visitors, particularly our younger visitors. The notion that a family could live in one room is pretty foreign to them. Of course, it doesn't have running water.
The dugout is a very good example of being able to interpret history for children and show them how some families lived. And right next to the dugout is an example of how others lived. It's the 1891 ranch house.
At the time it was moved to the museum, it was the oldest existing structure in southwest Oklahoma. It was built by the Edelman family, who were ranchers. He ranched over, I think it's 21 square miles that extended from the Red River to present-day Altus.
But upon first entering the museum, you are transported back in time, first with introductory information about southwest Oklahoma in general. You'll be able to explore prehistoric times, as well as the Wichita Indians, and a look at the beginning of settlement. Mostly through first-person narratives, history comes to life as the pioneers tell their own stories. And of course, one can't explore the history of southwest Oklahoma without looking at the creation of Altus Air Force Base.
What we have in a case right now are scale models of the 11 planes that have been assigned to Altus Army and then later Altus Air Force Base since 1943.
Whether it's new acquisitions like this buffalo hide painting that tells the story of Devil's Canyon located about 20 miles north of Altus, the Museum of the Western Prairie will help you understand and appreciate our past so that we may better prepare for the future.
I think people come in, are pleasantly surprised with what they see, and have walked away believing that they have just seen a gem of a little museum in southwest Oklahoma.